Hey everybody, my name is Dr. Allan Fradsham. I'm a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine and I practice at Bamboo and Spine in Inglewood in Calgary. I want to talk to you today about the idea in terms of your overall tissue and how Chinese medicine views that. So I think it's good for us to recognize that the goal of your body and all your organs' functions is to reproduce your body so that you can still exist, right? So each one of the functions of the organs has a specific function that we want to recreate you, right? But on top of that, Chinese medicine has viewed the concept that not only is your body trying to recreate itself, but that specifically each organ has a tissue extension that is reflective of its overall health. Okay, so what that means is that, and I can list them for you. So for example, the tissue extension of the lungs is the skin. And it's interesting that you see, for example, if you have like an asthmatic condition, when you go in, let's say, a good example is I took my 3-year-old at the time into the hospital. He was having an asthma attack. As I smash onto the microphone, he was having an asthma attack and a lot of wheezing, and so we went in there. And one of the first questions that the ER doctor asked is, does he have skin conditions? Because it's a check in terms of like noticing that there's weakness in the lungs. Very often there'll be skin conditions. And in Chinese medicine, that's because it's the tissue extension. So that would be one example. Another example would be an aspect that the tissue extension in terms of the ligaments and the bones is from the kidneys. And we can see aspects in terms of like, calcium uptake and deep mineral uptake in terms of like the body. The flavor of the kidneys is salt. And where do we get all those deep minerals that we're going to be using in terms of like recreating bone? It comes out of the salts, right? So the tissue extension of the kidneys is the bones. And so we see a usual kidney deficiency with osteoporosis, things like this. The tissue extension of the liver is the tendons, and in terms of aspects of flexibility, this shows up if we have a deficiency or a blood deficiency in the liver in Chinese medicine. We see tightness and tension in the tendons. The tissue extension of the heart is the blood vessels themselves, and we see a strong relationship in terms of like vessel health and overall heart health in Western medicine as well. And the tissue extension of the spleen, stomach, and pancreas is the musculature, right? So this is our ability to build muscle and flesh upon that. So all of those are reflective of what's happening in the organ. And in Chinese medicine, we can recognize that if there is a problem with one of these tissues, we can look to the organ to find out if there's an excess or a deficiency, and we can balance that out and treat that accordingly. So this is how Chinese medicine views the overall body. So if you're having a problem with certain aspects of your body, it might be because there's an organ dysfunction in terms of one of its jobs. And Chinese medicine is very good at diagnosing and treating that. So if you have some questions about that, come on into Bamboo and Spine.